now that we have refactored our main function into a class component and it displays the current orders, we didn't really put any orders in there. We did, and it looked not so hot, and we didn't, and it still looks not so hot, which we should fix with some CSS in a second. But with no orders present, we get that nice little, hey, check this out. No orders yet. However, if we were to add an order to the array, which we could probably do like this, we could say orders customer is me, and the items I'm ordering are like, let's just take 2 items from up here. Let's just grab the espresso, and yeah, you're right. Actually, that's true. We probably have to figure out how many do they want, huh? So what else besides name and price? What else should we put in there? Amount. Cool. I like that. Let's just go with AMT for amount, and I'm getting 2 espressos because I want to get wired. And then let's also do blueberry scone, because I told you I love them homies. Blueberry scone. What's their price again? $2.99, and I'm only gonna eat 1 because that's all I'm feeling today. So let's do that. Cool. So now if we do this, we need a way to render that, because if you do it right now, and I save this, it will give me just the customer name, because that's all we said to do inside this unordered list. We said, hey, just render the order.customer. You see that? Now, this is fine, and we can do everything in here, but notice how, again, this render method is starting to get pretty big. And honestly, anytime something gets a little too big for me, I like to extract the core functionality of it into another method. And so we could write our whole list item component inside our JSX, but honestly, for conciseness, this is what I almost always do. And I just want to show you, you'll see this a lot in React apps, is they'll add another method to the class. And this is another reason why I really like using class-based components, is you can come over here and say like, hey, I want a method called RenderOrder. And that RenderOrder method is going to be equal to, well, it's a method that takes in the order and the index, and it displays a list item, or it returns, a list item, just like we said before, with the key. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. If you do it like this, it just automatically returns this. I'm not using the return statement. You're absolutely right. But to make it more clear, let me just use the return statement. So we're going to return a list item where the key is equal to the index, just like before. And we're going to display the order.customer, right? And we're also want to display the order.name. So, honestly, we should probably wrap this whole thing in parentheses. And anytime you want to go to the next line, you can just wrap it in parentheses like that, and that will work. And so here, we want to display order.customer, and then map over the order.items. Ooh, this is going to get a little complicated, huh? Because order.items is an array. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit complicated, but let's just, you know what, for now, let's just do the exact same thing we're doing here, okay? And we'll say this.state.orders.map, just like we did, and then we'll take each order, but instead of doing this, where we return this whole thing, let's say this.state.orders.map, and we'll return this.renderOrder, and we'll give it the order and the index. Okay? Now you might be looking, oh sorry, wrong thing. You might be looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? All we're doing here is we're making this a little bit more concise. Now I'm gonna give it some more room so you can see everything in here. We're taking this.state.orders and we're mapping over it. So everything in this state.orders array, we're gonna map over every object in it. And we're going to pass the order and the index to our method right here called RenderOrder. And if you were to save this and look at it in here, you'll see that nothing's changed. It still looks great, huh? Ta-da, we still good. That's exciting, in my opinion. Everything works well, no errors. We are now able to extract into a method. This is clean code. We're just passing the order, every order in this orders array, we're passing it to this RenderOrder method, and this RenderOrder method is going to tell us how to display each order. So nothing is broken, but it's kind of complicated, right? So the thing is, like, now if we need additional logic, if we need to add more code in here, blah, 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 cool stuff in here, object.keys, crazy things, we can add it all in the RenderOrder method, and it doesn't make this area huge. And so the JSX is still pretty simple. We just know it's either going to check to see if this.state.orders.length is greater than 0. You could also just say this.state.orders.length. That also works, which just means, is it a truthy value, not a falsy value, and 0 is a falsy value. So if this.state.orders.length is greater than 0, it'll take this.state.orders and it'll map over each order and pass it to the this.renderOrder method with the order and the index it comes in as, so we can give it a key, each list item a key, and display the stuff we need to display. Now we haven't finished this part yet, but it works. And if there's nothing in this.state.orders, then it still gives us no orders yet. And just to make sure that still works, let's take this and let's comment it out. And we save it. And we come back and no orders yet. And let's just keep things as clean as possible. We've added some additional stuff here, but in the next video, let's go ahead and add some actual logic to the RenderOrder method so that you know why we would do this.